this is Sunfire. So Sunfire is just a enrollment platform. You guys are familiar with Connecture or Medicare Center or stuff like that. This is pretty much the same thing, but it's on steroids. This is going to replace you having to actually use Medicare.gov. So if you can get familiar with this, you can quit going to Medicare.gov altogether, besides the rare instances where you may have to go to find the client's drugs or some other information for them that you can only get through Medicare.gov. But for the most part, you'll be able to build profiles in here. You can see, you can search through your prospects as you have them filled out. You'll have them all down through here. Joe Smith is somebody I was playing around with the other day. You can send a scope through here. You can view all your reporting through here as well. So we're just going to kind of play around in here, but it's a very powerful tool. So I encourage everybody to log into it, play around with it, get familiar with it. By the time AEP gets here, you need to be so efficient on it that you're doing every MAPD and PDP enrollment through this platform. It will allow you to do Medicare supplements, but we're not doing Medicare supplement enrollments through here. So for supplements, keep doing what you're doing. This is going to change the way that you're doing MAPD and PDP enrollments. So the only downfall to this is the HAs, right? You have the health assessments that we get paid the extra $50 on when you complete the MAPD enrollments for like UHC and Aetna. Well, you're not going to be able to complete that HA when you submit the enrollment through here. So, you know, take that for what it is. You know, if that's something you want to go after, you may want to continue using that. But again, when AEP gets here and you're really busy, I know for us in the office, this is going to make us a lot more efficient. So we'll just start by creating somebody. So Justin Brock here.
That's me. You're using me. It's not my zip code.
Oh, is that right?
04, yeah.
Oh, you
Totally
moved.
different plans than 04.
What's your birth date?
1988.
So, well, let's, for the sake of this, let's just do 1956. So we're going to save. He went away. Oh my God, he's gone. Well, you're just going to search Brock. He's going to come back up. You're going to be able to edit his profile. You can start a quote. You can send a personal URL, PURL, Pearl. That's only if you want the client to self-enroll. You should very rarely, if never, do this. I just don't trust the clients to actually complete the enrollment and select all the right boxes and everything that they need to do. So most of the times you're just going to send a scope of appointment, and we're going to text Justin a scope about standalone drug plans and Medicare Advantage. And he lives at 144 South Thomas Street in Suite 106. I hate this fat keyboard. He walked into our office, and we're going to talk about Humana PDPs today. And he is going to meet with us today. And here we usually put that they walked in. Text. All right, please provide your customer with this code. So you have to give them this code so they have access to the email. They're going to, or text. They're going to get a text link. It's going to open up, and it's going to have them put this code in. So you have to translate this code over to them. So 711245. So we're going to text it. See how long this takes. It was pretty quick when I tested it the other day, so it shouldn't take too long.
You know what I should do really quick?
So
record this.
Yes, do that. So right here you can see the scope is incomplete.
I got it already, by the way. I'm just trying to turn my screen record on, which for some reason I removed from my control panel not long ago. Idiot.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Idiot.
So you notice up here too that you can also upload the scope. So if you are in person and you get a paper scope, you can upload it through here. So you can possibly get rid of the scope, but there's just one thing to remember is you have to keep that scope on file for 10 years. So if you're relying on Sunfire to keep it on file for 10 years,
What's that code?
711-245. So I don't know that I would solely rely on Sunfire to keep the scopes completely. However, as long as you have access to this, you'll have access to your scopes because they will be saved in here. So if you have access to a CRM, I would recommend putting the scope in the CRM. But again, if you just have it and you're on the fly, you could upload it in here. Most of the time, you're just going to be storing email scopes and text scopes in here. Very rarely would I upload a scope into this portal. If I'm uploading it, I'm uploading it to the CRM.
Did it, so you should be able to.
All right, so he's completed that. So we're just going to give it a quick refresh. And now scope of appointment is gone. So let's just go back to our customers. Search Justin Brock. And see the scope of appointment. It's been completed. No. So I have to sign it. So now I've signed it. Now it's been completed. All right? So we sent it to the customer, they signed it, then it came back to me. It still said it was not completed because the agent still has to review the scope of appointment, make sure everything's accurate, and then sign it. And so you just seen, I just click the button sign. It completes that scope for you, and you can view it here. And now you have the whole scope of appointment. Again, if you want to save this to your CRM, because I wouldn't rely on Sunfire, you can download the PDF and upload it into your portal.
Or just keep it on a folder on somewhere if you're keeping them on your desktop or something like that.
All right. But you can see it's a scope of appointment like we're used to, very generic. It's not branded for any one company. So now that we've got the scope of appointment on the customer, we're going to go through and we're going to start a quote. I can go back and edit his profile. Let's just go through that. When you go to edit when you're creating the profile, it's not showing it right now, but when you're creating the profile, all this information here at the top is on there, but then it goes on to say Medicare supplement underneath. It'll say like Medicare supplement. You don't need to fill that information out. That's only if you're quoting the MedSup, and again, I don't encourage you quoting MedSup through here. So when you're starting these quotes, and it may even do it now, save and quote. Yeah, here it is. So you're gonna put in the criteria. He's in Lee County. This is the extra help. It will show you extra help percentages just like Medicare.gov. So if you know they're getting extra help, you can click this and it's gonna show you their costs for their drug plan and anything else that they may be getting. So again, all this is optional. I would not even mess with this because this is all just for Medicare supplements. So we're just gonna, actually I wanted to go back. I'm gonna put none on this for the sake of the training here. All right, so you can see, looks just like Medicare.gov. I didn't put any medicines. I didn't put any health criteria, anything in. So right now it's just quoting me lowest premium med subs, right? Sort by premium, annually, and I'm displaying plan cost, or I can sort it by benefits. So now it's showing me on medical, they have a 0 copay for primary care doctor, 30 for a specialist.
You said MedSup, but you meant lowest cost Medicare Advantage.
Advantage, yeah, I'm sorry. So this is just a pretty cool feature itself, you know, being able to sort through copays from plan to plan. But again, the biggest thing about this is that you're going to be able to add doctors. It's going to be just like Medicare.gov, and that's going to keep you from having a client that may have 10 different doctors, and you have to go to every carrier portal and search up the network on every one of them. So let's see. I think it's find doctor. No, it's not the find doctor button.
But interestingly, if say Sunfire is not giving you what you want doctor-wise in there, you're not finding it, that link that's attached to each of those carriers takes you to the specific carrier search tool. So instead of having to have like random shortcuts for all those, if you did have to use them, they're actually all right there.
Right. Yeah, let's see.
Do you recommend using this scope over that Heartland scope we were using this past day?
Yeah.
Or does it matter?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Abandon that. Abandon ship. So let's see.
There's a specific reason I'm talking about it.
I was just wondering because I did a T65 and the PDP I did on the scope on that Heartland thing.
Oh, it's fine.
All right.
You're fine.
So
That's all it is.
So we're here, we're looking at plans, and all right, you know, Justin, you go to the doctor. Let's see. Oh, so I see what we gotta do. So Justin Brock. Edit his profile. All right, so where is? Why is it not letting me? Ah, here we go. Okay. All right, so let's just start over here. So we've got all the plans pulled up. It's going to allow you to add medicines over here. So you can still see up here at the top, we're dealing with Justin Brock. So the next category is their medicines. So with Cinepril, and this drug finder is way better than Medicare.gov. So you can see as I start typing this, we're going to add just a 30-day supply. As I start typing this, these drugs are popping up instantly. Another thing I like about their drug finder here, and you could put 90-day supplies, I'm just putting them in monthly, but metformin, right? That's a very confusing one because there's 1,000 different metformins. So when it's a very confusing drug, Sunfire will highlight the most common one that you have in green. So if you don't know which one I should be picking, it's telling you this is most likely the one that they're taking. And so it highlights it in green, which I thought was a really neat feature, especially with metformin. Like I said, it's a very confusing drug, but it'll do it with several others. So we've got 3 drugs in there. Let's just go over to the pharmacy, and they want to use CVS. All right, so we've done the same thing. We put in their drugs, we put in their pharmacy, now we're viewing that. But this platform is going to take it a step further. It's going to let you add the doctors. So over here on our little menu, we go from medicines to their health. So, you know, Justin, are you very sick? How often are you going to the doctor? So this is an estimate of their healthcare costs. Right now I put I don't know, so it doesn't estimate anything, but if I say, well, I barely go to the doctor, or, you know, just on average, about 5 times per year. This is going to calculate them going to the doctor 5 times, urgent care 1 time, vision exam, and a dental exam. Well, we can say they're going to use it a medium amount. Now this gives them 10 doctor's visits, an emergency room visit, inpatient hospital admission, 4 home health care visits, vision and dental. Or if they say high usage, 20 visits. So you can see it's kind of estimating healthcare costs based on what they're telling you or how much they use it. So let's just say they're going to go to the doctor a lot. Okay, that's great, but now does this plan take my doctors? So I'm going to go over here to doctors. So we went over their health. Now we're going to say, okay, what city are you in? We're in Tupelo. What's your doctor's last name? Jones. So you go to Jones Family Medical Clinic. All right, great. So this one right here, did you go to the one on North Gloucester? Yeah, I do. Okay, great. We're going to select that doctor. Same thing. What city are you in? It gives you these pre-populated cities based on the zip code. I'm in Tupelo, and Dr. Dennis Smith. Which one do you go to? You see him over here on Green Street. There you go. Okay, so now I've got my plan, and I've got whether it takes the doctors or not, all in one spot. So I've done their drugs. I've estimated based on health. Medicare.gov doesn't do that for you, so this is actually going a step further and giving you an estimated cost based on them using the plan. But then it tells you if their doctors are in network, which is huge. I mean, before we would recommend them going to like eHealth Medicare plans and looking it up on their tool and then going back to the enrollment portal and doing it however we were doing it straight to the carriers. This is going to allow you to do it all in one platform, so you can look up drugs, their doctors, and then you can actually go ahead and enroll in the plan.
So if they've got a doctor that's not in network, will the name pop up and have like an X beside it?
Right there, yep.
Okay.
So like this AARP, PPO, Jones is not in it. Aetna. So if I can enroll in the plan, hopefully all of you will get this green enroll button. If it's green and it will allow you to enroll, you can just click the enroll and go through the app process. I'm not going to do that right now, I'm still quoting this person, so I'm going to say, all right, you like that one? That one looks good. Just for the sake of this one being able to enroll, that one looks good, and Humana looks good. So down here at the bottom, what's that look like? Medicare.gov, right? Looks just like it. So they're doing the exact same thing. So I can compare all these plans side by side, or I can email the plans. If I email the plans, it's only going to allow me to enroll plans that the portal says that I'm eligible to enroll. So for instance, I can enroll Humana and Aetna right now. I'm ready to go. I can do that. But I can't even send this plan to the customer because I'm not certified, licensed, and ready to sell that product. So I can't even be talking about plan specifics for that product. It's against compliance, right? So Sunfire is not going to allow me to email them a comparison on a plan that I don't represent and I'm not ready to sell. I mean, does that make sense? Like, so if I'm really comparing these three plans, but I want to email it to Miss Betty, she's only going to see the two that I'm actually certified with. And I'm certified with all of them, but Sunfire doesn't know that. So Sunfire has to give you the ready to sell. They have to verify it with the carrier. They're not going to take your word for it. So I can email this. Let's just go ahead and go through that. Justin and yeah, 450678. So Justin, you're going to get an email. Do a screen record. Open the email. So another thing I like about this little, the way it's quoting it here, we went over how plan cost and plan benefits, right? So it's just sorting it. But you see this little eyeball over here? It's called the X-ray view. It's going to give you a completely different view of these plans. So if we click on X-ray view, puts it in a different style. So now it's giving you all the benefits of each plan when you click on it over here. So I can click on Aetna Freedom Plan, and now it's giving me all the benefits of the plan. What's even cooler is that instead of having to go to the summary of benefits and look it all up, I can just come here and click on the summary of benefits for all the plans. Now I have the whole book right in front of me that we need to look at to go over that with the client. So if this plan's really looking good, I was like, all right, Miss Betty, we need to go ahead and go over a few other things. I'm going to go, through a couple of these big ones, try to highlight the big gaps in the plan so I can sell her a hospital indemnity plan, right? And so having that at your fingertips is huge because, you're having to go look up a PDF or go somewhere else. It's all right here in the same platform. It even has star ratings. Star ratings is huge. Justin, did you get that email?
Let me see.
We forgot the code now, so don't worry about it.
What was it?
450-678.
450-678. So I can just pick one and enroll in it.
Did you screen record?
Yep.
Yeah, so
678.
is it giving you the option to enroll in the plan?
Yes.
It is?
450-678. What's my birthday? 01/27/1956.
Yep.
Yes, I'm enrolling. Yes, I've always wanted a Medicare Advantage plan.
Well, there you go. I'll put you on one even if you don't qualify.
Much better than my Medishare.
Yeah, so again, going back to this X-ray view, if you want to see that drug costs that we usually look at on Medicare.gov, cost by period. So this is your cost before the deductible, after the deductible, in the donut hole, after the donut hole, right? Tells me these are all your preferred pharmacies on this plan. So we don't get that either, right? If they say, well, what pharmacies can I use? Well, these are all the ones recommended in the 38804 zip code. It's got your dental, vision, and hearing options. Or if we want to look at Humana's, same thing. I can go to drug cost details. And now here's my drug cost. Right, estimated annual cost, monthly cost, and then it breaks it down by drug. Lisinopril 5 milligram. Tells you what tier it is, quantity limits. So it's giving you more information than Medicare.gov is giving you. If I want to get back to my other view, I just cancel out my X-ray. Now I'm back on this view. All right, so Justin has confirmed that he likes this Aetna plan. So we're going to click enroll. I don't know if it'll let me go any farther without filling that in. So make it required. There we go. Oh, it doesn't match the zip code. What's your address, Justin? Your new one?
3116.
There you go. Pre-populates it for you. Continue. Put in his Medicare card information. I don't know if it's going to let me go through. Let's see if this will work. Oh. Let's just say he's John Smith. See how far I can go. Okay, so it's validating it somehow. So it's not even letting me put dashes in. So we can't get any further, but it's pretty simple to finish out this process. You can see everything's just like every other enrollment portal that you've seen when it comes to the application. You're going to go through there and finish this out. Well, Moo's PDP was built on Connecture. And so, I mean...
A lot of the reasons that there's some similarities is because when they get the authority from Medicare to have their own EAP, it has to meet certain criteria, and so it looks very similar to Medicare.gov's self-enroll EAP as well.
So I had a little notification pop up, but it was just telling me that the scope was signed by Justin. So...
I went through to self-enroll, and there, of course, it holds you when you don't have a Medicare number. So,
yeah.
And then it defaulted to the upline as the agent since they were appointed and ready to sell. And you weren't showing that, I guess.
It should have. It showed I had the ready to sell for Aetna.
I have to look at it. There was a logo on there. I'll show it to you offline, off the video.
Yeah. So one cool thing about this is that it's storing all that client's information. So if you deal with them and then they come back, you deal with them in AEP and they come back to you during OEP and they want to change the plan. Well, you don't have to do all it over again. You've already got their profile and you're just editing what you already have in there. Most likely it's going to be the same and you're just going to quote them a new situation, but it's storing all their drug cost in there with their profile. So let's see if we can get back to it. Should have pulled up his drugs. Let's see, users. Drugs in there. I don't know. It didn't save the drugs, but it saved the doctors. So
if you clicked on the plan, on a plan, like the breakdown, do you think it would show it?
yeah, it's still showing his medicines. There they are. I don't know. View my medicines. Right here. So I'm still new, so I'm still learning on this too, guys. But so yeah, I closed Justin out. I brought him back up. All his medicines were still in here in his profile. His doctors, his health was all still there. So again, if you're dealing with someone AEP, you can bring them back OEP. You don't have to do it all. Just pull up their profile, start quoting them, make sure it's all still accurate, and it's all there. But the whole idea behind this is to replace you from going to Medicare.gov and then going to a separate portal and having to log in. So, you know, we may have went, like last AEP, we were going to Medicare.gov, looking it up, or we were going somewhere, doing the scope separately, going to Medicare.gov, looking their drugs up, then we're going to the carrier portal and putting it all in. This is streamlining all of that.
You can go somewhere else and looking for their doctors.
Yeah.
Question is, does it let us know if they have a little touch of diabetes, which plan to get?
What if they go to a doctor that's in like South Haven? Do you have to go change the zip code, look that?
Yeah, so when we were looking up doctors, it gave me all these nearby cities, but if you were saying, oh, I go to a doctor up in Memphis.
That's cool right there.
So now I'm going to, you know, Dr. Smith in Memphis. And so we're gonna, that's the one you see her at. Okay. And now, well, let me get out of this x-ray view. But now you can see, you know,
The one in Memphis is, okay, nice.
she's not in the network. So that's a huge time saver, just the doctors alone. I mean, you don't have to go to 2 or 3 portals. Now it's just one, put them in one time. It's going to tell you where they're accepted and where they're not. And if you feel like it's not accurate, yeah, click the button. Let's do Aetna's, and it's going to bring up that portal that we're going and logging into anyways to look up people. So you should all have access to this. I'm going to send you an email with your with the login address. Bookmark that, log in, save your passwords, reset it if you want to. It's going to be very generic right now, but get in there, play with it. If you have questions, come to me. We'll sit down. We'll take the time to get you up to speed on it, because it needs to be the tool that you're using for all PDPs and all MAs, because it just makes sense. And me and Justin have done a lot to get to this point. Like, we had access to Sunfire last year, but you could only write like 1 or 2 plans through there. So it doesn't help. You know, if you can only access Humana through there or WellCare through there, it doesn't help. But now that we have all 5 of them in there, so you guys should all be certified and ready to sell with Humana, WellCare, Mutual of Omaha, UHC, and Aetna. And so them are the 5 that we write in our area. Them are the only 5 that you'll need. You don't need Cigna or Clover or Health Spring or Clear Spring or Envision anymore, Alexa.
Crazy.
We don't need none of them. You should have 5 PDPs, and then Humana, Aetna, and UHC's MAPDs. So if you've got writing numbers, I think everybody that's LOA in the office I've got set up. Bill, you were one of the only ones that don't have anything on. So Rita, there was something. No, we figured it out. It was our NPN we didn't have. Yeah, so we figured that out. But Bill, you were the only one that don't have any of your writing numbers or anything. So, but if you can get that to me, I'll get you set up today and use it. Like I said, you're never gonna figure it out if you don't use it. I encourage you to use it and ask me questions. It's gonna be a huge tool. Anybody got any questions right now on it? So
Is there a decent eligibility lookup on there?
yeah. So if you were looking up LIS, we would go back to them and say now they get LIS. And it should bring up, yeah, right here, special needs plans. There we go. So you got the United Healthcare and the Aetna. And that's another thing, right? If I'm looking at these plans, it's got these filters over here. So if I just want to see the plans that I'm appointed with, I don't want to look and compare plans that I can't even sell. Well, I'm going to click appointed only, and now the plans that I'm ready to go with are the only ones it's showing me. Or if I know that I want to sell a Humana plan or United Healthcare, whatever the case may be, these filters will help you out a lot. Or if you know somebody wants a PPO and not an HMO. I mean, for us, that's not really huge, but not a whole lot of difference. Here's the one you'll probably use the most, is like comparing vision between plans or dental. And then use the control find. Everybody knows Command F will allow you to search the page. So if you're just looking for dental, bam, there's all my dental options. I just want to see vision. Oh, you gotta spell it right. And you just keep searching through here. It'll show you every instance of vision in there. So, but this is gonna be good. It's gonna be a lifesaver or a time saver at the very least.